Good day, this is Simon Browning, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how you can view the reports for the newsletter sending campaigns, the results of sending out a newsletter through the Swiftpage email system. So you can see I'm on the Swiftpage website here, which is swiftpage.com, and in our top left we have an account area, user ID, and password. So we would enter our information, click submit, and we will be taken to the My Swift page, My Swiftpage page within the website. And we have some main functions here. There's various items in here, but of specific interest to us in this case will be reports. Other things we could do is edit our templates, send emails, etc. But let's click on reports, and we can see the newsletter reports, the newsletters that we have sent out in the past. And by default it's showing us 1 week, but we could look at 2 weeks worth, a month's worth, 2 months worth, etc. So what we do is we click on the one we're interested in and we click view report, and immediately we get a summary, graphical summary, so we can see that we submitted this many names and this many actual messages were sent. There was 167 that were unsent. Reasons for unsent would be bad email addresses or duplicates in the list, etc. From this graph we also know how many messages bounced. None. That's great. How many unique opens there were, so how many individual email addresses that we sent to actually opened the newsletter. They might have opened it more than once, but this is just telling us the unique opens. How many unique clicks there were. So there were 114 unique clicks with 123 total clicks. 4 people forwarded the newsletter and 6 people viewed it as a web page. And then next to the graph we have summary reports and detail reports. Just to go back to the unsent for a second, one of the detail reports here is unsent, and if I click on it, it will show us why. Okay, so that one was a duplicate, that one was invalid, these were duplicates, that was invalid, etc. So we know that we can take those off our list, so next time they don't get sent. So let's go back again. I just clicked the back button in my browser to go back there. Under summary reports we have opens and clicks, and then we have opens over time, clicks, and clicks over time, and you'll see these once we go in here as well. So let's click on opens and clicks, and then you can see again we have buttons for the opens over time, clicks, and clicks over time. So on the summary we can see the email addresses, and we can see what time they opened the newsletter, how many times they opened it. Now if they opened it more than once, as this person did, it's only the first time they opened it. You can see if they clicked on links or not, and you can see if they forwarded the newsletter or not. And then there's a few pages worth. We can also get this emailed to ourselves by just typing in our email address there and hitting send. And so it'll email a copy of this to us. If I were to look at opens over time, what it gives me is, based on when we sent out the newsletter, when it was actually opened. So this is 24 hours from the newsletter being sent, and you can see, what's that, 31 people opened it within the first probably 20 minutes or so. You get a graphical sense of when the newsletter was actually opened, so you can see most of the opens were in the first few hours, and there was a gap. That's probably overnight, because I think it went out in the evening, and then the next day there was a bunch of opens. That's probably the morning of the next day, and then it continues. And you can zoom in and out on this graph. We would zoom out, for instance, to see more days, or more hours actually. So that's 2 days. There was one click 2 days later, one open 2 days later. Clicks over time is the same idea. It gives you when the links within the newsletter were clicked and how soon after it was sent. And actually it's a little more specific, because you have the general all clicks over time, but then you also have the individual links within the newsletter as well, the chairs page, the chairs 2 page, the ottomans page, etc. Let's go back again and let's quickly look at the detail reports. Unique opens by email tells you the actual email address and the person's name if it's available, and what actual time they opened it. And unique clicks by link is quite interesting actually. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Unique clicks by email. You can see which people clicked on which links and at what times. And messages that were unopened, you can see who didn't open your newsletter. And bounced, we didn't have any bounce. So there you have it. I haven't gone through all the reports, but feel free to fish around in there. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Thank you.